everyone, my name is DTV Dewey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than normal. Normally you would be seeing me uploading a new episode of the Seattle Sonics expansion franchise series, and obviously just recently released one of those episodes, but wanted to do something a little bit different for this video, something a little bit more short-term focused. And maybe more people will see this video and want to stick around for the long-form series, but I wanted to try this out and see if we could have some fun with it. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and do kind of an off-season rebuild for the Dallas Mavericks, who just lost in the Western Conference Finals after their first appearance in the Western Conference Finals since 2011, where they also won their first championship. And yeah, I wanted to see, can we get Luka a second star in this offseason? What would be a realistic type of route for them to take, and what could their potential future hold? I'm thinking probably next season, maybe one other season after that, and then we'll just see how it goes. And yeah, I'm thinking it should be pretty fun. As you can see already, I've set everything up to be as accurate as possible. I know some of the tiebreakers with the lottery and stuff is not going to be that accurate. I'm going to try and fix that for you guys once we get to the lottery and stuff, so that way it's at least accurate in the off season. But currently everything is as close to accurate as it can be, and then we'll fix it later. But I know you guys are ready to get into the offseason. I am as well. Let's see who wins this championship and get right on into it. And the Golden State Warriors end up winning in 7 as they come back from that Game 1 loss and end up winning. In Game 7, Curry had a 41-point triple-double. The Warriors won by 8 points. And Jason Tatum had a disappointing game. But yeah, so I guess the Warriors, according to 2K, the Warriors are going to get their 4th championship. Curry gets his first one without Kevin Durant since his initial one. And yeah, I guess we'll see what the offseason holds. I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. Let's get right into the offseason. Alright, so we are past the draft lottery. Everything is currently accurate. Everybody has their correct, at least first round picks. I didn't go through and make sure the second round was 100% accurate, but for the most part, the first round is what we're worried about, and those are completely correct. We're past the staff signing, so now we'll be getting onto the draft and the draft workouts. And the Mavs have the 26th pick in this draft, and there's definitely quite a few things we could do with that. We could bring in a rookie and see if they can contribute. We could trade it away to get something proven. Haven't really decided yet what I want to do with that pick, but we will figure it out once we get there. There are certainly some players that would be interesting to add, like Nikola Jovic. Now he doesn't really address a lot of the concerns that the Mavs have as far as defense. Like, he's very bad at defense. But yeah, there's definitely some guys that we could get later in the draft that would fit our needs. EJ Liddell would be a great one. Yeah, certainly. So we will go ahead and do these workouts, and then I will see you guys at the draft, where we will figure out what we're going to do with this pick and if we can trade something for somebody else. Looking like this is what I'm going to want to do with this pick. We're going to send out Dwight Powell and Davis Bertans along with this first round pick, and we're going to bring back Terrence Ross and Jonathan Isaac. I'm going to see if I can flip Terrence Ross for something. If not, I mean, he's a decent shot creator. I'd rather have Chetty Osman than him. we're going to send Terrence Ross and a second-round pick next season to the Cavaliers to bring in Cedi Osman. So with a couple moves, we bring in Jonathan Isaac, we bring in Cedi Osman. Both should be solid rotation players for us. And we'll see what else falls to us. A couple of guys we were thinking about, Beauchamp. Brown was obviously off the board. Oh, Beauchamp got taken before our pick even, so that would not have affected us. EJ Liddell was one player that I was considering taking. C+ potential. It doesn't look like he would have cracked our rotation in year one, so maybe that's just fine. Christian Coloco was another one I thought about taking, but ended up not deciding to go that route. And Jalen Williams was the other one. And yeah, nothing that would have cracked our rotation. We ended up getting actual rotation pieces for our pick, so I'm very happy with that. I'm gonna bring back Maxi Kleber on this deal because the Mavericks will also bring back Maxi Kleber. Not going to bring Pinson or Moses Wright back, even though I believe the Mavericks will. This is still somewhat of a realistic route. Jonathan Isaac, I'm actually going to play him at center. That was the idea, bringing him in. He has great interior and perimeter defense. Can switch 1 through 5. Can hit some threes every now and again. He's 6'11". His IQ is not the best, but I just think that he's the type of center that you'd like to have back there, shot blocker, that sort of thing, and we'll see what we can do around him. And now, obviously, the first point of business is bringing back Jalen Brunson, and I am going to offer him a pretty decent-sized contract because the Mavs certainly will have to. I think about $25 million a season is what you're going to have to pay for him. And certainly love that. Let's see what our roster looks like after that signing. Obviously, you have Doncic and Dinwiddie, Brunson, Hardaway, Bullock, Osman, Green, Finney Smith, John Isaac, and Kleber. So that's 1, 2, 3. It's already 10 players who could potentially be worthy of a rotation spot. I'm going to look at the free agency and see if there's anybody else worth bringing in. Obviously, Otto Porter would be a fantastic fit. I'd love to bring him in. If he wants to sign for a 3-year deal on that amount of money, that would be great. DeLon Wright would be interesting. Gonna have to do this trade. Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock, and Bo Bonds shipped out for Paul George and a first-round pick, as the Clippers have decided to start their rebuild. And with that, the Dallas Mavericks have gotten their second star, Paul George, alongside of Luka Doncic. And now, potentially, we would need to bring in an additional ball handler. So DeLon Wright would be a nice fit for that. off the bench would be a good fit. So DeLon Wright, Dennis Schroeder, those types. Oh, I don't want to just accept Dennis Schroeder though. Yes. All right, so we're gonna end up bringing in DeLon Wright to replace Jalen Brunson, which is a move I like. Decent three-point shooter, has the size. Like, I'm looking for these 6'5" guys. I'm not really interested in guys under that. We definitely need, potentially could use an additional power forward. Rob Covington, if he'd like to join the team, that would be interesting. I know, though, that he re-signed with the Clippers in real life, so... Unfortunately, he's available in the game. And I don't have enough cap space to sign. I'm actually gonna bring in Bielitsa, and I'm going to turn him back to a power forward, which is what he is normally. But currently we have Doncic, Dinwiddie, DeLon Wright, Paul George, Tim Hardaway, Chetty Osman, Josh Green, Sterling Brown, Dorian Finney-Smith, Bielitsa, Isaac, and Kleba. I'd like to see what I could get potentially for Josh Green. I don't think that he is somebody that should be in our long-term plans, but I mean, I'm not just gonna give him away for free. The Warriors would do this, so I'm not going to accept that. It's kind of upsetting that the game wants them to trade him away versus retain him. Yeah, I think the only thing left to do is to bring in like a third center. Stein makes the most sense. Stein, we're at 14 players, so we can have one more roster spot. But I think our rotation is pretty filled out. It's just a matter of getting enough bodies if somebody got hurt. So we're looking at a power forward. Whoop. I mean, nobody is signing Robert Covington. I guess I'll sign him. He's worthy of being on a team. So we bring in Robert Covington. So our team now looks like this. We have Doncic, Dinwiddie, DeLon Wright, Trey Burke, Paul George, Tim Hardaway Jr., Chetty Osman, Josh Green, Sterling Brown, Dorian Finney-Smith, Namia Bielitsa, Robert Covington, Jonathan Isaac, Maxi Kleba, and Willie Cauley-Stein. And that's going to be our off-season. See the player progression. Obviously, Paul George dropped a bit. His three-point shooting went down, so certainly see why maybe the Clippers would want to move on from him for a younger player, and also getting some good role pieces around him, a three-point shooter in Bullock, 3-and-D wing, and Boban, who played for them before. So certainly reasons why this trade might make sense, but also it is kind of a little bit unrealistic, but you know, that's the fun of these videos. Sometimes you get to do some stuff that not likely to happen in real life, and we wanted to get Luka a second star to go by, and we'll see if Paul George can put us over the top alongside John Isaac. I'm definitely excited to see how this is going to go. I'm going to update the shot tendencies. Going to update Dorian Finney-Smith's shot tendency a little bit. It's gonna up. Alright, so we've updated some of the shot tendencies for the team, and now we will be advancing to the next season. CPU adjust the rotation. Now we will be updating the rotation that we currently run. I'm gonna want to run a 9-man rotation, I think. Potentially a 10-man. Alright, so our rotation is going to be Luka, Paul George, Osman, Finney-Smith, Isaac, Dinwiddie, DeLon Wright, Hardaway Jr., and Kleba. So, key additions. We added 4 guys to the rotation who weren't in it last year. Key ones being Paul George and John Isaac. Osman, DeLon Wright can also, should also help us out as well. Jason Kidd's style to a perimeter centric, so that way the styles match up and we are ready to go. We're gonna simulate through the regular season, see how we finish, and yeah, we'll see if we can get back to the playoffs and how deep we can go after that off season. I think we should do pretty good, but let's get right to the playoffs. Ended up dropping down to 3rd in the Western Conference over the back half of the season. Trae Young winning MVP, that's unusual. Usually Luka wins MVP. Jabari Smith, Ben Simmons, Giannis, Kevin Porter, Willie Green, and Brandon Harrison. The guys, Trae Young and Luka Doncic, both All-NBA first team. Giannis, Tatum, Jokic, not really a surprise. I mean, Trae Young is a bit of a surprise on All-NBA first team, but obviously as the MVP. Kawhi Leonard made it All-NBA team after losing Paul George from his team. And Paul George making All-Defensive second team. So yeah, so that's your All-NBA teams. Let's simulate the play-in. Alright, so checking the rotation, we have Doncic, Paul George, Osman, Finney-Smith, John Isaac, DeLon Wright, Tim Hardaway, and then Josh Green is playing the 9th spot in the rotation. With it being the playoffs now, I'm going to condense it down to an 8-man rotation, and that will take Josh Green out of it. I do like the players that we have. Finney-Smith probably, and maybe even Osman are going to have to play some time at the center spot, since Isaac obviously can't play 100% of the time there. But I feel pretty good about our rotation, and we're going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So actually, potentially, I should, for this matchup, I should force in a little more John Isaac, or I think I'll just play more John Isaac in this series since he is the tallest and the switchiest. And then if we need to, hopefully Kleba can come back healthy, maybe Cauley Stein sees the rotation. But I like where we're at. We're going to simulate through this series and see how it goes. Not good. Mavericks end up winning after we made our adjustments. Luka with a almost 40-point triple-double. Paul George, 24 points. John Isaac, almost 20 points. And I mean, Cat almost had a triple-double, but he had been averaging much more points. Started Tim Hardaway, got us to the next round, so the Mavericks will advance. Let's see. I actually need to go and change up the rotation again. And now we're starting to get guys slowing down. That's no good. Mavericks up 3-2. Can they eliminate them? No, we forced to another game 7. Chetty Osman not really feeling it. Let's go in, let's adjust. Green wants to be in there. And we again escape with a Game 7 win after making some minor adjustments. My goodness, Josh Green. 30 minutes of nothing. Not to worry, Spencer Dinwiddie, Paul George, Luka Doncic, and John Isaac have got us back to the conference finals, where we will face off against the New Orleans Pelicans. And let's see if we have what it takes. Game 1 does not go our way. Doncic and Paul George both have pretty bad games. Actually, I'm going to put Paul George at small forward for this matchup, so he'll get matched up against Ingram. Doncic, Hardaway, like the rest. We're down 3-1, and it might end up being not our day as the Pelicans advance to face off against the Brooklyn Nets. So, ended up coming up short yet again, finishing in the Western Conference Finals. Let's see. We're gonna do one more season and then we're gonna call it. As much as Paul George maybe helped us out, I also think he hurt us quite a bit. So we're going to ship Paul George out of here. We'll see what we can come up with. I do think Bridges and Gordon Hayward is a decent trade there. Let's see if I can find anything for Gordon Hayward, because I don't love his contract. Ooh, if I could Drew Holiday, that would be a nice potential. I mean, all right, so let's take a look at what we're working with. Doncic and Drew Holiday. I'm gonna edit Drew to be a shooting guard, point guard. So he'll end up being our starting shooting guard. Paul Bridges, I'm going to edit to be a small forward. So now we're going to have a starting five of Doncic, Holiday, Bridges, Finney-Smith, and John Isaac. And I like that quite a bit. Obviously, the Mavericks don't have any picks this season, and I'm going to keep the team around for the most part. No qualifying offers. Would like to bring Cleva back on a 3-year minimum salary type deal. Check out the roster really quick. So we got Doncic, Dinwiddie, Delon Wright. We got Holiday, Hardaway, Bridges, Osman, Green, Finney-Smith, Isaac. So we're pretty set through small forward. So really all we're looking at is we need some power forward depth and we need some center depth. I mean, bringing back Jay Crowder would be pretty nice. So let's do that. Bringing on Hassan Whiteside for a minimum contract. So many old players is what we're looking at. We're at 13 players now. Let's take a look. Doncic, Bridges, Isaac, Finney-Smith. Holiday took a major dive. That's not great. Let's go look at the Bucks, see if their guys took a major dive as well. I mean, Hayward stuck at an 80. I definitely needed a guard, so I had to move on from him somehow. It just didn't really work out the way you'd like. I'm gonna see if I can swing a trade for... No, this right here I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Trey Man. Let's see. Flip Trey Man and Jay Crowder into Devin Vassell. Let's see what I can dump Drew Holiday out for. I could bring in Klay Thompson. I'd rather have Klay Thompson than Drew Holiday. At that point, he fits the team better. All right, let's see where we end up. Let's look at our rotation quickly just to see where we're at. Doncic, Thompson, Bridges, Finney-Smith, Isaac, with Vassell, Dinwiddie, Wright, and Hardaway coming off the bench. Not really sure who's playing backup 5 for us, but I like it. Let's simulate, or actually first, let's go in and let's change the shot tendencies. Up Bridges a bit. We're gonna up that. All Alright, so let's get through this season and we'll see where we finish. Alright, well after the season we finished in 3rd place in the conference. Luka Doncic wins the MVP. Wembanyama the Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons another 6th Man of the Year award. John Isaac with his first Defensive Player of the Year award. Definitely not shooting the best. So playoff rotation gonna be Doncic, Thompson, Bridges, Finney-Smith, Isaac, Vassell, Dinwiddie, DeLon Wright, and Tim Hardaway Jr. Maybe I bump Osman in for Hardaway since he's on fire right now, and we'll see how that goes. Definitely looking forward to seeing if we can make it to the NBA Finals. Can we make it? We go up 2-0 on the Kings. Now the Kings win 2 games in a row. We come back, we win again. The Kings tie us up. Oh my goodness, man. We just cannot avoid playing 7-game series against teams. It is incredibly ridiculous. And the Mavericks end up advancing in 7 games against the Kings. 2 games up again. 3 games up. Will we advance? No. We lose the first game, lose another, and advance. And now, again, we have advanced to the conference finals. Can we get past the New Orleans Pelicans? Well, we win game 1. So already we're doing better, but Pelicans are just so good in 2K. Forcing game 7.
Finney-Smith
Missing the shot. Mavs down by 3 in the winner-go-home matchup. Out to McCollum. McCollum putting up a 3. That's no good. Now Doncic will bring it up. Give it to Isaac.
Isaac primes Doncic. Isaac a screen on
Doncic driving inside. Nobody there. He'll jam it home, and the Pelicans will take a timeout.
I love how Doncic reads the floor, varies his pace,
and decided to sim past the final game and the final 2 minutes. We're going to just watch and commentate and see what happens as the Mavericks are trying to get back to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2011. Doncic with the steal. A minute and a half to go. Doncic has it. Shook his defender. Vassell coming off the screen, trying to get open. Now Doncic with the screen from Finney-Smith. Doncic, the step back 3. Can't get it to fall. That would have put him up. Miles Bridges gets dunked on. I think that was by
I don't know that this is the time for
Shadon Sharp.
In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily.
Mavs down by 3.
He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness.
Luka gets swatted by Jackson Hayes. Mavs need to play good defense. Out to Sharp. Sharp fouled on the 3-point shot by Isaac, who was trying to recover. That might do it. It might just not be it. Sharp misses his first free throw, but I mean, he's got 3 of them.
The second one drops.
Second one goes down. It's not really the spot you want to be in. Down 5 with under a minute left. It's going to take some spectacular maneuvering, and Dallas will call a timeout. 53 seconds left. 5-point lead for the Pelicans as they look to get back to the NBA Finals, and Luka commits a backcourt violation. That was terrible.
And now let's revisit that exceptional Mobile 1 block.
And this is postseason play at its finest.
That might actually just end the game
in the playoffs.
Ingram against Bridges.
Gonna be able to take another 20 whole seconds off the clock. Make or miss. Those are seconds you can't afford to lose.
Orleans moving it around. Here's Ingram.
Now Ingram gets a free run to the hoop, and the Mavericks call a timeout, but that's gonna do it. So the Mavericks make it back to the conference finals 2 years in a row and fall both times to the New Orleans Pelicans. We were not able to get Luka a championship despite retooling the roster, getting some good players, but just couldn't quite get over the hump. But thank you guys for joining me for this video. Definitely had a lot of fun, different change of pace from what I normally do. Obviously doing the expansion rebuilds, long form rebuilding, and wanted to throw in kind of a off-season rebuild / 2-year rebuild for a team. The Mavericks are my favorite team in the NBA, so that's my home team, and wanted to do a video for them. If you guys have any other teams you want me to try and do a similar type rebuild for me, definitely leave a comment down below on which teams you want to see. Obviously this offseason there's going to be a lot of moving parts, and I'll probably do a similar 1 or 2 year rebuilds on different moves. If there are big trades that happen, I'll have a video for those, as well as the normal Sonics content. But if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so that you're notified whenever a new episode gets uploaded. Definitely helps the channel grow, and love to see everybody who joins us. And hopefully this type of video will bring more people to the channel who can see the expansion rebuilds, and will increase those as well. But as always, guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is the TV Dewey, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.